Hey guys, it's Joe here, and welcome to my channel Not So Average Joe. So I'm going to be reacting now to the first trailer for The Headhunter, which is a new Viking-themed horror film. So it's like a monster horror film. I don't know a lot about this. I don't know anything about this, in fact. So let's just get straight into the trailer, and we can have a quick chat afterwards. Let's go.
I always thought I could protect her. What took her from me is still out there.
Very beautiful looking. Ooh, like trolls. Game of Thrones meet Lord of the Rings meets a troll hunter. Here we go. That Gandalf the White in the background. Looks like.
It's back.
Ooh.
Vengeance is upon us.
Nice. Okay, so what can I say here? So, yeah, it's great. I really loved it. It was the epic sort of the epic scenes set in nature. So you've got all the landscapes, the mountains, the grasslands. It looks incredible. Obviously reminiscent of the time of the Vikings. That looks quite sort of Scandinavian, Icelandic landscape. Obviously the Vikings came from Scandinavia. And it looks really interesting. It looks like the monster creatures they're trying to kill, or that are trying to kill them, are sort of like trolls. And yeah, it's like basically a cross between the Troll Hunter and Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, mixed in with a bit of The Descent and The Hills Have Eyes. So yeah, it's sort of bit of body horror in there. So it looks like there's lots of gore in this. I'm guessing it's going to be an 18 horror film. There's like the stripping of the spine was particularly sort of gross, so to speak. You've got like the typical sort of horror tropes, such as the flame, the flint, creating the flame and it's going out and then coming back on again, then going out again. And obviously at some point, once the light goes back on again, there's going to be like a face in front of the camera. That's usually how it works. Vikings were living as, you know, huts and caves at this time. So, and I'm guessing these creatures dwell in the caves and they come out at night and attack the villages. It's like some sort of legendary mythical creature that comes and attacks the people. And it's very interesting. I love the ruined castle in the background. Like I said, the landscapes and the setting, beautiful. I love horror films that utilize their space. You know, utilizes the landscapes around them, and with slow camera pans and, you know, the cinematography, it brings the added extra chill and tension to the horror film itself. I mean, that sort of bleak landscape, bleakness in itself, makes you feel a bit wary of what might be out there, and that's what I seem to be getting from this horror film. But like I was saying, it has quite a few intense moments as well inside the cave there, with that troll creature crawling along the wall, and like I already mentioned, the stripping of the spine and the head on the pike. You know, there's obviously the Vikings are going out to kill these troll-like creatures because they're probably getting killed themselves, a bit like wolves preying on sheep. In the dead of the night. That's basically what seems to be happening here. And yeah, it looks really interesting and looks really well filmed. I love the cinematography and just the simplicity of that spider on its back and just its closing its legs. You know, it's symbolizing death, obviously. And I just love the camera work in this trailer. So in the film as a whole, I'm guessing it's going to be amazing. And I was expecting it to be a bit lower budget than it looks. It looks quite high budget. It looks very well made. And well acted enough for a horror film. You know, lots of screaming and blood and lots of beards. What can you say? It's Viking themed. In a way, it also reminded me a bit of Beowulf, where you've got that sort of Scandinavian type Viking setting, and there's some sort of monster out there, shape-shifting monster that you don't know what's going to happen, and is it going to take any more people and kill people, and it's really interesting. It's like a fable, a legend of monsters in history, sort of like the Loch Ness monster, sort of like trolls and mythical beasts. And that's, I love them sorts of horror films. I mean, tend to work really well. The most recent one I saw that reminded me a bit like that is The Hole in the Ground, in terms of it's some sort of mythical demon in the ground that comes up and preys on people and then takes their place, children specifically. So yeah, it's really interesting concept. So I'm looking forward to this film. I love the colors, and the music for this trailer was very fitting. And we saw enough blood and gore in this trailer alone, so I'm guessing there's going to be quite a lot more. Like I said, I expect it to be an 18 rating, and the cinematography was amazing. For me, cinematography and sound draw me into any film if they're really good in the trailer, and both cinematography and the music and sound were great. So that's a plus point for me. I didn't know about this film before. I'm going to research it now and find out when it comes out. I'm sure it's probably going to come out in April or May, when all of the big films seem to be coming out. So there's a lot to do in the next 3 months. But yeah, anyway, thank you for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe, and make sure you join me for your next video. Your next video, my next video. And if you've got any comments you want to make below, you can do that. And yeah, I'll see you soon.